Hello everyone, I'm Srinivasan, C# developer. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use SriLibs DataSync library. So, this is my website. So you can see there is already two libraries uploaded in NuGet package, um, and so in this page you can see there is a documentation for each library. So the second one, this is the SriLibs DataSync library. uh, you can see there is a documentation for this library which shows how to implement the code to achieve the data sync, and this is the two-way data sync library. So you have a you have a choice to sync that local data to the server, or either server data to the local, right? So you need to check this uh, images which contain some codes to implement the library before use the library in your project. Okay, so and this is my official website. Here you can see my upcoming libraries. So now let's get into the project. So this is my simple project which I created to demonstrate the data sync implementation. So this is a simple form. In this form you can see there is a two text boxes, each is for connection string, so and three buttons. So I will tell you one by one. So when I click on the button, so the data we can sync the data from the local to server. Okay, here the condition is this source is local and the destination is server. So when I click on there is no code, so we are going to type the code. So before that we need to install the library, SriLibs library. So you can go to the NuGet package manager and type SriLibs. Yeah, so you can see there is a two libraries. So one is for my previous library, which is used to convert the normal text numbers to text, and the second one is my datasync library, and this library only supports MS SQL Server. So both sides, so the local and server, source and destination, must be a MS SQL Server. So in future I will upload in any other databases like for sqlite, mysql, postgresql. So I will post one by one in NuGet package manager. So for the first, I just developed library for MS SQL Server, right? So here you can see it's a Apache 2.0, so it's free to use in any environment, like production environment, any environment you can use this library. So it's a free of cost, and but if you want to donate this developer to develop further for further development, so you can donate you can donate to this account directly, and it will be very helpful for the developer to develop further. And I'm going to install the library into my project. So as I said, when I click on the, so now I'm going to write some code here. Initializer. So we need to add this namespace. So initializer, go to new initializer, and the next one is initializer dot initiate. The initializer dot initiate method will give synchronizer object. So synchronizer synchronizer equal to initializer dot initiate. So you can see there's a three parameters we need to pass. So the third one is optional. So if you want to sync all the tables, you no need to specify any table in this method as an input argument. Okay, so for the first argument we are going to pass the local connection string. So local database connection string and server connection string. So local connection string is a client connection string, the same machine what in which we are implementing this this library, and in which we are going to install the application, your application, which is using this library. Okay, so I just gave the connection string in this text boxes. So I simply txt local string dot, I simply post this connection string here. So server string dot text. The third one, so if you want to sync the data between the databases, if you want to sync the specific tables, so you can mention like this: new it's a list actually. Okay, now you can specify like this: table 1, table 2. So if you want to sync these two tables only, means so you can specify the tables like this. Or if you want to sync all the tables, so you can simply post null, you can simply post null, or you can leave it blank. So by default you can see when I give a comma, by default it's a null. So now I'm going to synchronize. So for that, synchronizer dot sync, we have a two method here, flash sync and sync. This is a customized method, and sync method means, so sync, you can use the sync method only if the direction of the synchronization is local to server, right? So if you want to if you want to sync the data from the server to local, so you can also use the sync method, but the logic will when you give like so yeah, let's see here. You can see the direction is, first of all we are going to sync the data to server, local data to server, right? So we are just passing the direction. So you can give that, you must give the direction here. So you can see when we call this method, we will get the sync info as a return type of this method, right? So sync info, yeah, that's it. Here I just wrote some code here to show the sync info informations. Like I just want to show once the synchronization is finished, I just want to show the information of the synchronization, right? So in the sync info object, so we can see there is some properties like inserted, updated and deleted, inserted, updated, deleted, and we can also have a status, whether it's the synchronization is completed properly, or yeah, I'll tell you one by one. And now I'm going to you can see I wrote that only 3 lines of code to sync the data from the local to server. So here the local data is a source and the server is a server database is a destination. Okay, so I simply give the breakpoint here. So because whenever we click on the button, so the compiler hits this breakpoint. So now I'm going to run the demo project. So this is the default connection string I gave here. This is because for local database I just use a test DB in the same machine. So this is the we need to assume that this is the local database, and also we have a server database in the same machine, because this is a demonstration. So for that I just gave server DB here. So in your case, if you use in a production environment, so you need to mention the database name and IP address and all, right? So this just for demonstration I gave. I just created two databases in the same machine, and for each database I just created a different connection string, right? So whenever I click on the sync to server, so you can see we are here now. So when I press F10 again, yeah, that's it. You can see inserted, updated, deleted, no data to sync, because we didn't change anything, we did not insert anything, we did not update anything into the tables of the local database, right? So but whenever we initiate without data, whenever we initiate for the first time, so we need to create an initializer object, and we need to call the initiate method with the connection string, because it will do some configurations for the first time. It will create some configuration in our local local database. See here, yeah, this is our local DB, right? So this is our local DB. So we have a tables here. So you can see 1 2 3 4 5 tables actually, 5 tables actually. So whenever we call the initiate method, so it will create an additional table called sync feed. So now I am going to refresh it. So you can see there is a sync feed table. So this table sync feed, right? So this table will cache the data if we change any data, if we insert or delete any data in this database, right? So SriLibs.DataSync library will create the sync feed table, right, to cache the data. So for the next time, so now I'm going to do some changes here. So we have a we have the same tables in a server. So you can see we have 5 tables, but we have no sync feed table, because sync feed logic, like we can only cache the data in only a local machine. So we cannot configure any data in the server database, because it's very highly confidential. So this is the concept here. See, I will tell you one by one. So here we have the same tables what we have in the local database. The table name should be same, and the column names, and the types of columns, and is there any identity, or everything must be same. Okay, so everything must be same, excluding index. So index is not a problem. So data type, column name, table name, it should be the same what we have in our another database, right? And yeah, I'm going to do some changes in local database, and after that I will sync the local data to server. right? So let's see how can we do changes. And yeah, so table 1 parent, so you can see there is a lot of data here. There's a lot of data, so still it's executing actually. Still it's executing, right? Yeah, and now I'm going to insert some data in this table, like the last ID is insert into table 1 parent. $50 is the next ID, and TP column 1 is pink. Actually the last one will be, it's a decimal actually, pink. Yeah. We are going to insert sorry 51 brown 20. So we are going to insert these two rows in the table 1 parent in local DB. So you can see this is the local DB actually. So I just inserted, so you can see whenever I insert there is some additional rows are affected, which means there is a logic whenever we insert whenever we insert, update or delete. So there is a logic to cache the data in the sync feed table. So you can see now you can see the sync feed table. So there is a two rows are inserted whenever we insert any other table in the database, right, with the table name. So we don't need to change anything in the table sync feed. So we don't need to create any index, or we don't need to create any changes, do any changes in sync feed, right? So it should be available without any customized changes, right? So the logic, the library will do all these stuffs with the table. Okay, so now yeah, I just inserted. Now I just want to update the same table, update set column 2 TP column 1, which is the colors actually I'm saving, equal to white, where ID equal to 49 is the last ID actually, 49 now. Yeah, so as I said, there is some rows, additional rows are affected to cache the data. Now I'm going to delete the data in another table, right? So you can see this is the all type table I just created to create all the columns with all the data type which is supported in the MS SQL server, right? So you can see there is a column for each data type which is exists in the SQL server, MS SQL server, right? So I just created this table, so we can also see there is some data here. So there is some data here. So I just want to you can see there is some data, so I just want to delete the row 8. Okay, so there's a timestamp column, so we can delete it using query delete from all type data column 1. Sorry, column 1 is a primary key column, and so now yeah, I just deleted it. So you can see now this table, the data what we have in a local database, the same we have in a server database actually. So as you can see now, so select star from server db.dbo.old. so you can see there is a row with column 1 8. Actually we don't have in local database, right? Because just now we deleted it, and you can see local database, the table on parent, yeah, order by descending, because sorry, I did this. So now you can see sorry, in server in local database, so we just inserted this brown and pink, these two rows, right? So we just inserted these two rows, inserted and updated this one row actually. So we can see what we have in a server. In server, so you can see this is the 549 is the last one, so this row will must be should be updated, and additionally 2 rows will be added whenever when the synchronization is completed. So now you can see in a sync feed table, so there is some data is cached from the 2 tables. So these are all the data is inserted, updated and deleted, right? So this is how the logic is works in the library. Okay, so we should not touch anything after the library configures our database. So we can create any other table and we can insert, update, delete, whatever we can do it in our database, but we should not touch anything, any objects which is created by the library. Okay, and now you can see now whenever I click on the button, yeah, so inserted, so 2 rows are inserted, one row is updated, one row is deleted. So you can see, so one row is deleted from this all type table. So now I just want to show you see there is no record with column 1 8. So in both local and server, so the data is synchronized. Actually the data of the table is synchronized. Now you can see Yeah, now you can see uh, the 51 and 50. So 20 lakh 551 and 20 lakh 550 is the two rows are inserted. So two rows are inserted, and additionally the third one, the 49 2 lakh 514 20 lakh 549 and ID, you can see the color is updated, right? The color is updated, so the data is synced properly. And you can see there is a status success. As I said, you will get a status after synchronization is completed, successfully synchronized. And here you can see the duration. It's a 1 second 1 second 365 milliseconds actually, right? So this is how we can uh, sync the data from the local to server. This is a one direction, so we are going to see the second direction actually. So for that I'm going to remove. There is a loss of data here, so 20 lakh rows in the server. So I'm going to in the server and local databases, so I'm going to do some changes. I'll tell you one by one. Yeah, I'm going to pause the video now. To sync the data from the server to local, so we already have a logic here. So I wrote some logic already, the same what we wrote for the local to server, but the small change is, so you need to pause this, you need to change this direction only. So sync direction dot sync from server, right? So you can see I will tell you how this method will work when the direction is sync from server. So if the direction is sync to server, so it will take the data, the cached data from the sync feed table. I already told, right? So the table, sync feed table, so this table will contain some data of cache data whenever we do some changes in the local machine. So with the help of, we can easily identify the rows, identify the data to sync only if the direction is local to server, because the cache data is in local. The data is the cache data is from the local only. So in this case, whenever we sync from server, we have a data in server, so we don't have a data, or we have a wrong data in local. So we are going to sync the data, original data from the server, right? So here now the source is server, the destination is local, so we don't have any cache data here. So what it does is it will erase all the data first. It will erase all the data from the table one by one, and then inserts a new row into the destination, right? So you may have a question now. So if what we can do, if we have data before implementing this library in local, so we want to push the data to the server first before use the library. We have another choice, like we have another method called flash sync. So this method will do the same thing what I told here for sync from server direction. So you can mention directly, so you can also mention directly here, because the flash sync is same only if the direction is sync from server. Okay, for sync to server, so this flash sync, we can use this flash sync method only if we want to push the data which is already existed in the local database before implementing this library. right? So yeah, if you want to implement this library in your application, so you need to at first, before inserting or doing any changes in the local machine, so you need to call this two lines. So then only it will cache the data, the change the data in the sync feed table. Okay. And yeah, now you can see this is the local database actually. So we have no data here. You can see we have no data in any table, right? So we have 5 tables, so there is no data in local. So we have a data in server. This is a server actually, so I just mentioned here. You can see prefixes, sorry. Yeah, you can see there is there is a data in all tables. You can see there's data in all tables. So this is the table 1 parent table, which has 59,599 rows. So these data from the tables, 5 tables, will be synced to the local database. So this data will be inserted into this local database, right? So for that I'm going to give a sync method. I'm going to call a sync method, because the same sync method will do the same things what the flash sync method will do, only if the direction is sync from server. Okay, the sync from server. So if you change the sync to server, so the sync method will get the data from the sync feed table. Okay, so now you can understand the concept of the library here. And now yeah, I'm going to give a breakpoint here as the same. You can see this is the method sync from server, right? So we are here now. So it will take some time because that's a huge data. Not too much time. The performance wise, this library is based in the market actually. Yeah, you can see insert at 59,609. So 59,599 is data is only from these tables, right? This table. And you can see the time is, you can see, only 23 seconds. So 23 seconds is also we just gave a breakpoint also, and we just debug the code one by one, right? So if we did not debug it, so it will be less than 20 seconds actually. You can see there's a 23 seconds on 418 milliseconds to insert up too many rows, right? And once again I'm telling, the performance wise this library is robust actually to sync the data. So yeah, this is how we can sync the data to the server, either from the server. This is the two-way sync actually, right? Yeah, so once again I'm telling here, once again, so whatever direction, so you can use in your application, in any direction, you can sync the data in any direction using this library. But before that, so you need to these 2 lines must be executed, must be executed. So whenever you install your application, so whenever the first form is opened, the first when you initialize the application may be your web application or Windows application. It's your choice, right? So it's your uh, needs. So to sync the data, so you need to execute these two lines first, so then you can use this line anywhere, right? So you can get the data information and you can show to the user about the synchronization. So yeah, thank you friends. Yeah, thank you.